Catus Maximus here, this time with a review of the Amazon house brand DuraTech. The reason I say that is these came in those plain white boxes with the front white label, just like a lot of the Amazon Basics stuff. Pulling these out, I got these little DuraTech cards, exactly the same as Gear Drive. So DuraTech and Gear Drive are the same company. I don't know why they have two different company names. It's totally pointless to have these two different names. The Gear Drive are the offset wrenches, and then these DuraTechs are these S and half moon wrenches. It's just a waste of money to have separate branding when it's the same manufacturer, essentially making the same tools. These were $25 a set, $50 for these. They are advertised as being chrome vanadium, and they do have that stamped on them. They are Chinese, so essentially these are Harbor Freight, but a little bit better than Harbor Freight, because Harbor Freight S wrenches are, and half moon wrenches are Indian, and they are absolutely horrible. Cinex ones are also Indian. They're just a higher quality control grade. But in this case, I have to say they are maybe a little bit better. Like, before I get into that, I should comment real fast about the oddball sizing selection here. These are both have 10 sizes, 5-piece sets. This is a 16 set from 5/16 through 7/8. This set only goes up to 3/4 inch, and that's because they're including an 11/32 and a 13/32, which aren't particularly useful sizes, to tell you the truth. Although somewhere in their product, in their research, they came across something that said, hey, we could use these, the 13/32 can be used on a 10mm fastener. It's about the best I can come up with. They come in these foam trays. They'll use up all the space in your toolbox for just a few wrenches, but if you're somebody who likes that type of stuff, here they are. These can be screwed or nailed to the wall. At least the foam holds tightly enough where you can push the wrenches in and they won't fall out. As far as the quality, there's definitely some real inconsistency here. If we take a look at some of these smaller wrenches, we can see some mighty thick buckles here. Holy mackerel. That's going to have a hard time working in a lot of places, just because the buckle of the wrench is so thick that it'll end up hitting whatever the recess the fastener is in. Some of them aren't too bad. If we take a close look at the grinding of the buckles, they're not the worst in the world, although it can be pretty inconsistent between wrenches. Let's take a closer look at some of these larger ones. These are actually, these S wrenches aren't looking too bad. I guess the biggest issue is that they have such thick buckles. They are fluted, not super great fluting, but for $25, this is kind of the deal. I buy these wrenches because I didn't have any S or half moon wrenches in fractional, and these are both fractional sets. If I run into a situation where I'm standing on one of these and they break, the buckle's too thick for me to get access to something, then I'll get, a Mac or something, or a Cornwell off a tool truck. Order a Proto, get something nice. But many times, I wouldn't need the full 5-inch snap-on set, just because it would be $150, $120, and I'd only really end up using one or two of them. So I'd rather do something like this and have the core or most used tools be the very highest quality, and then have cheaper tools for the lesser used ones, or the ones that I use in situations where they don't have to be just the absolute best. That way it frees up more financing to get really nice tools, really where it counts. Let's take a look at some of these half moon wrenches. Looking in the same type of situation. The buckles are a bit thick. If we take a look at this little 5/16 here, God, that thing's looking a little bit not broached down the center. Wow, it's pretty lumpy too. There's like a big old flat spot there. But the broaching on this 5/16 almost looks like it's coming through at an angle. That's definitely not any good. I wonder how straight these things are. Wow, that one actually doesn't look super happy. You can see that here. Maybe if I get it against the flat side of the packaging, it might be better. There we go, this way. So if that buckle is flat against the packaging, that one's turned out. Kind of hard to see, just like that, but this wrench is actually twisted like this. This end is twisted out versus this end. So, and not making me super happy, but once again, the equivalent cost of this single wrench was $5 for a piece of chrome vanadium steel. That's about as cheap as it gets, because, and that's kind of the issue with the cheap tools, is they're just pushing it so much. I mean, this piece of chrome vanadium steel is going to cost some money. You have to have the whole forging press and even slave labor. You have to feed them. And I really don't know how they're, busting out wrenches for quite this cheap. But overall, I'd say that they're okay. You can't really expect a lot. You can't expect good chamfers, such as this one, where they apparently completely missed the chamfers. Or say this one here, where they just ground it so much that it's really, the wall is getting a bit thin right on that side there. Although it's a little better on the top side. I just wanted to give these a shot and take a look. They'll probably be the last DuraTech tools that I end up buying. But they were the cheapest, as far as I could tell, the cheapest CRV, Half Moon, and S wrenches on Amazon. And to tell you the truth, they're about the same quality as the Indian-made Sunex, and Sunex does treat their, hopefully they treat their employees better. I like the tool company more than I certainly do Amazon's house brands, and I generally recommend to just go with the Sunex ones. They're a bit better company to support. Anyway, I really appreciate everybody who's been watching and subscribing and commenting. Really appreciate all the comments on my Black & Decker auto wrench video I just made. Please don't hesitate to leave any comments, good or bad. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. Until next time, Catus Maximus out.